Hi friends. Over the weekend, someone asked me about the book of Ecclesiastes. I gave the best off the top of my head answer. And then I thought maybe it would be fun and interesting to think about that book together during the daily messages this week. So that's what I'm going to do, and then you can decide whether it's fun or interesting. So let's dive into the book of Ecclesiastes, and let me just warn you, it is not an easy swim. This book takes us into some dark, pessimistic, and familiar places. It raises more questions than answers. It's a book that's not so much about the characteristics of God as it is about the human experience. And it describes the human experience in ways that are not sugar-coated or idealized in any way. The book is about the human condition, but it is not an organized essay on the topic. In fact, there seems to be no reasonable order to it at all. It's more like an old man looking back over his life and wanting to record all of his thoughts and all of the wisdom he's gained over the years for the next generations. So Ecclesiastes begins this way. The words of the teacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, says the teacher, vanity of vanities. All is vanity. What do people gain from all the toil at which they toil under the sun? There are a couple of key words in those 3 verses that are essential to understand in order to understand the whole rest of the book. I'm going to tell you about one of them today, and then the next one I'll tell you about tomorrow. The first one is teacher. In Hebrew, the word is koheleth, and it means assembler, or one who gathers people together and leads an assembly. Now, it's not a proper name, it's a title, kind of like pastor. You know, people call me pastor, like, hi pastor, how you doing? Well, that's a title, not my name, but it's used in place of my name. So that's how the word teacher is used in Ecclesiastes. When the Hebrew was translated into Greek, the Greek word for one who leads an assembly is Ecclesiastes. And so that's how we got the name of the book in English. Now, who this teacher was, we don't really know. The tradition of the church is to attribute Ecclesiastes to Solomon, because Solomon was the son of David and a king in Jerusalem. However, based on the dialect of the Hebrew in which it is written, as well as on the philosophical content, it's most likely that Ecclesiastes was written sometime in the 3rd century BC. Solomon lived in the 10th century BC. It's possible that the teacher was one who was instructing students in a royal or priestly household in Jerusalem for someone who was leading in the line of King David. Now, whoever the teacher was, his purpose was to assemble wisdom and to assemble students to learn it. Now, I'm sure that the teacher knew that the wisdom he was assembling was important and insightful. But I bet he had no idea that students would still be assembling 24 centuries later to learn it. Now, clearly a lot has changed since the 3rd century BC. But essentially, the human experience is pretty much the same. Love and loss, work and recreation, purpose and chance, time and death. And through it all, we trust God. I hope you'll join me the rest of the week for this discussion. Thanks for listening today, and I'll see you again tomorrow.